Good morning, friends. It's great to see you today. I hope you're all doing well. Let's get started with some floor yoga today. Grab a golf ball if you have one, or a soft rubber ball. I have a strap handy, a couple of blocks, and of course a bolster. So let's start out just by rolling out our feet today. Give a little love to our feet. I know I've been going on a lot of extra walks, and so my feet are a little tight and sore. Maybe yours are too. And I just want to show you a couple techniques just to help open up those feet a little bit more. All right, so if you have your golf ball, feel free to sit on a chair if you don't want too much pressure, if your feet are really sensitive, or you can do it from the floor. I'm going to show it from a standing position. So the first thing we're going to do is going to place that golf ball right at the ball of the foot here, right below the ball of the foot. And then we're just going to roll inside, outside, back and forth. And you can put as much or as little pressure there as you would like. All right, and then we're going to start a straight line back towards the heel, into the second toe, to the third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe, and work our way back towards that great toe. Good, and then we're going to come to that meaty section right above the heel, right? So you're just going to place the golf ball right in that meaty section, and then you're going to go inside, outside. Once again, rotating right to left, left to right, just across that meaty section, as much or little pressure as you'd like. And then we're going to zigzag it all the way to the base of the heel, and then an all-over massage for that right foot. All right, and let's do the other one. All right, so again, placing that golf ball in that meaty section right below the ball of the foot, roll inside, outside. And then we're going to roll from the great toe back to the heel, up to that first toe back to the heel, second toe, working our way towards that pinky toe, one line at a time, and then working our way back towards that great toe. Good, and then coming to that meaty section right above the heel, as much or as little pressure there as you'd like. Inside, outside edges, back and forth. And then you're going to zigzag and come all the way to the base of the heel. And then an all-over massage. So any place that you may have missed or that needs a little bit more attention, you can just rub that golf ball right into that space. All right, let's place that golf ball off to the side so you don't accidentally step on it. All right, and let's just start at the base of our mat. All right, so feet are hip width distance apart. Let's just wiggle out your toes for a moment. All right, and then shift your weight back into your heels and just loop our shoulders back and down. And just waking them up a little bit. Let's bring our hands to our shoulder heads and loop the elbows. And switch directions. Great job. All right, rotate those palms open, thumbs pointing to the outside wall, and let the fingertips be weighted towards the floor. Right, as you keep the weight shifted back into your heels, lift nice and tall through the crown, and just close your eyes for a moment and breathe. And maybe just a big sigh out the mouth. And then exhaling through the nose with the same force, so the same sigh, but as you exhale through the nose, so that the exhale starts to lengthen, and you begin to hear it in your inner ear. So we're just setting aside our concerns, our worries for the day, and focusing, giving ourselves giving ourselves permission to focus on the breath and to set everything else aside. And maybe set your intention for today. Maybe it's to meet each person that you come across with love in your eyes, from your heart. You may notice that your mind begins to wander anytime during the practice. Just gently return your thoughts back to your breath. Let's take a beautiful inhale, sweep both arms overhead. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, both arms sweep. Exhale, pull through. Good. We're going to twist as we sweep to the left. So sweep and twist left, keeping your feet anchored. Bring your hands back to center. Twist, look right, and hands back to center. Let's do it again. Twist, look left. Come back to center. Twist right, and come back to center. Good. And gently bow forward, reach through that crown. Right? Feel free to gently bend the knees here if you like. You want to feel that stretch in the back of the legs. Hands resting on the knees. Just wiggle out those toes. Good. Let's bend that left knee. Peel open on that right side. Press down through the inside edge of your right foot. Beautiful breath. Good. Bring it back to center. Bow. Bend your right knee. Peel open on the left. Good. Bring it back to center. Reach through that crown. Tuck that tail around the spine. Drop the chin towards the chest and pop your elbows out. Good. Let's reverse. Pull those elbows in. Lift tall through the heart center. And again, round that spine. Good. Reverse. And press through the heels, lift all the way up. Hands melt through heart center. Inhale, sweep both arms reach. Twist left. Bring it back to center. Twist right. Bring it back to center. Bow forward. Bend the right knee. Press down through the inside edge of that left foot. Peel open on the left arm. Good. Bring it back to center. Lengthen both legs and then bend the left knee. Right arm peels open. Good. Bring it back to center. Bowing. Tucking the tail, rounding the spine. And reversing. Good. And come back to center. Walk your hands down to that forward fold. Feel free to grab a block here. Shake out that head. Right, you can always keep your knees generously bent too. Let's gently walk our hands forward, downward facing dog. Right. Feel free to keep your knees bent. Lift your hips. Drive your hips towards the wall behind you. Spread your hands wide, gripping through those fingertips. And then when you're ready, lengthen the legs. Maybe have a block handy. Place your block underneath your heels, just so you can shift your weight back into the heels and wiggle out your toes. Good. Another clarifying breath here. Excellent. Let's shift our weight forward, plank. Reach through that crown. All right, beautiful breath. And pull the hips back up, downward facing dog. Again, plank. And lift the hips, downward facing dog. And plank. And downward facing dog. And plank. Well done. Melt those knees down. Face the feet plant. Drop your hips back to your heels, child's pose. And gently walk your hands to the left. Good. And walk your hands all the way over to the other side. Excellent job. Walk your hands back to center. Slide those hands underneath. And walk it up to tabletop. Let's gently sweep those hips. All right. Anchor those knees just underneath the hip points. Hands directly underneath shoulder heads. Reach through that crown. Take a beautiful breath. Shift your weight into your right knee. Extend that left heel. Good. Stamp that left heel right to the back of the wall. Back wall, I should say. Good. Take a beautiful breath. And extend your right arm if you'd like. Thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Shoulder blade back into its pocket. Good. Elbow comes in, taps that left knee. And we're going to extend and reach. Let's do that again. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Tap. Exhale, reach. Good. One more. And reach. Good. Bring that right hand, left knee down. Sway your hips. Let's do the other side. Hopefully you're starting to feel your body warm up a little bit. Shift your weight into your left knee. Extend that right heel. Stamp the heel to the wall behind you. Extend your left arm. Left shoulder blade back into its pocket. Thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Beautiful breath. Good. Let's tap the elbow to the knee. Round the spine. Exhale, reach. Inhale, draw it in. Tap. Exhale, reach. Good. 3 more. Last one. Good. Right knee, left hand back to the floor. Sway your hips. I'm shedding my hair all over the place. Good. Drop our hips back to our heels. This time, let's open up the knees nice and wide and bow. And perhaps just repeat a breath prayer here. Breathing in, I am. Exhaling out here. And maybe repeat any breath prayer that works best for you. Good. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulder heads. Right? And then we're just going to tuck those toes. Right? And maybe one knee at a time. You're going to come up into a low squat. All right? Feel free to grab a block or two. Stick it behind your hips. Right? Right underneath there. Create a little shelf to rest on. Just take a beautiful breath and breathe. Good. One more. Excellent. Hands release. Walk your hands forward. Lift your hips. Point your toes forward. Downward facing dog. All right. So here we go. We're going to take a beautiful inhale. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot. Sweep our right foot tall. Good. Lift that gaze. Step your right foot through. Pivot left heel down. Lift up warrior one. Inhale, breathe. Exhale out. Good. One more breath. On the next exhale, hands sweep down. Right? You release that right leg back, 3-legged dog. Right leg comes down next to the left. Shift your weight forward, so shoulders over the hands. Lower down chaturanga. Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads. Lift up Sphinx. Good, and then send your hips back to child's pose. Let's do that on the other side. Hands underneath shoulder pads, press it up. Walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Good. Shift your weight into your right foot this time. Lift your left leg. Three-legged dog. Good. Step your left foot through. Pivot your right heel down. Sweep your arms up to the sky. And pause for a warrior one. Beautiful breath. Good. On that next exhale, hands sweep down. Right. Pivot your right toe forward. Sweep your left leg back. Three-legged dog. Left foot comes down next to the right. Shift your shoulders forward over your hands. Plank. Reach through the crown. Lower down. Slide our elbows underneath. Lift Sphinx. Lift that gaze. Walking your chin towards the ceiling. Good. And send your hips back. Child's pose. Repeating that breath prayer. Let's walk our hands to the left. And walk our hands to the right. Hands back to center. Slide those hands underneath the shoulder heads. Press it up. Right? Tuck our toes. Lift our hips. Downward facing dog. Shake up the head. Here we go. We're going to add on here. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot. Right leg sweeps up. Three-legged dog. Step our right leg through the hands. Pivot left heel down with warrior one. Let's open up warrior two. So now our hips shine to the left. Shoulder blades hug. Fingertips reach away from the body. Let's lengthen that front right leg and tip forward. Right, we're just keep reaching. We're not yet going into triangle pose. We're just reaching. Rebend that right knee. Maybe get a little lower. Lengthen that right leg. Tip forward. Maybe lay that right arm, right ear, right on your right arm. Good. Rebend that right knee. Right. Left arm sweeps forward. Warrior one. Stay with that left hip crease. Hands float down. Pivot left toe forward. Sweep your right leg back. Three-legged dog. Right leg next to the left. Downward facing dog. Take a gorgeous breath here. Shift your shoulders forward over your hands. Reach through the crown. Right, let's lower down chaturanga. Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads. Press up into Sphinx. Feel all those little erector muscles that line your vertebrae. Engage and lift the heart. Good. Let's release into back child's pose. And walk the hands to the left. And walk the hands to the right. Good. Walk our hands back to center. Slide them underneath the shoulder heads. Press it up and let's add on the other side. Right? Tuck those toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Shift our weight into our right foot. Sweep that left leg tall. Beautiful breath. Good. Lift that gaze. Step your left foot through. Pivot right heel down. Warrior one. Spread those toes wide. Let's open up warrior two. Shine our hips to the right. Shoulder blades hug, fingertips reach. Lengthen that right leg. Tip forward. Taking your right hip back. Left hand reaching forward. Rebend that left knee. Lower down warrior two, a little deeper. Lengthen that left leg. Tip forward. Maybe lay your left ear right on your left arm. Back to warrior two. Again, lengthen the left leg, tip. And warrior two. And last one, lengthen that left leg. Good, warrior two. Sweep that right arm, right hip crease forward. Sweep those hands down. Pivot right toe forward. Sweep your left leg back. Three-legged dog. Hopefully you can feel those legs stretching. Shake out that head. Good, left leg next to your right. Shift your shoulders forward over your hands. Reach through that crown. Let's lower down chaturanga. Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads. Lift up Sphinx. Great job. And shift your hips back. Child's pose. Maybe walk your hands in, right? Reposition those heels so they're directly underneath your hips. But as you anchor down, keeping the knees squeezing together, bow forward, tucking the chin to the chest, and your forehead tucks in towards your knees. Let's walk the hands to the left. And walk the hands to the right. And walk your hands back to center. Slide your hands underneath the shoulder heads. Press it on up. Walk your hands forward. Tuck those toes. Good. And shake up that head. Let's lift the gaze and gently walk, meander, or float your feet up to your hands. Forward fold. Shake up the head. Softness in the knees, the waist back into your heels. Inhale, rise halfway up. Breathe. Press through your heels, reach all the way up. Hands melt through heart center. Good. Feel the palms of the hands and the pads of the fingertips press against one another. Pointing your tail down, wiggle out your toes, and reach a little taller through your crown. Take a gorgeous breath here. And just find your drishti. Let's shift our weight into our left foot and sweep our right. Get used to that wobble in your left foot. All right, let's lift that right knee. Open your right knee nice and wide, placing your right foot to the inner thigh, at the calf, or kickstanding at the heel. All right, we're just going to come in to that tree posture. If you like, maybe lift an arm or two. If you're ready for extended tree, maybe grab the outside edge of your foot or your great toe with your first two fingers and extend the heel. Good. We're going to release that right leg. Slow and control. Bring our hands to our hips. Press your right heel to the wall behind you. And tip forward. Modified. Warrior 3. Softness in that left knee. Set your right foot down. Walk your left foot forward. Warrior 1. Good. Beautiful breath. Open as Warrior 2. Tip your right hip back as you lengthen your left leg. Setting up a triangle. Reach forward. Left hand to that left leg. Slowly walk it down towards the floor or the block. Reach it open triangle. Beautiful breath. Hopefully you feel that stretch right over your right hip bone. And let's frame that right ear. Kick back your right hip just a tad bit more. Right hand melts. Good, framing that front left foot. Now we're going to pull that right hip crease forward. Left hip crease shifts back. Pivot your right toe forward. And bunny hop that right foot in, right? So you come into pyramid pose. It's a forward fold over that left leg. The legs are long, right? If you'd like, grab a block for each hand and lift the floor to you. So you can really reach through that crown. You can lengthen those legs. Feel that nice stretch to the outside edge of that left leg. Beautiful breath. Shake out that head. Softness in that left leg. Press it back to be like a dog. Good. Set that left foot down. Shift your shoulders forward over your wrist. Reach through that crown. Let's lower down chaturanga. Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads. Lift up Sphinx if you're ready for Cobra or Mini Cobra. Feel free to do so. Send it back, child's pose. Right, maybe walk your hips in a little tighter. Tuck your chin in. Tuck your forehead into your knees. Maybe walk your hands to the left. Stacking your right hand on top of your left this time. Good. Walk your hand all the way over to the other side. Good. Walking your hands back to center. Slide them up underneath the shoulder heads. Press it up. All right. Walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Shake up the head. Open your hands wide. Grip through those fingertips. As we shift our weight to our left foot, right leg sweeps tall. Sorry, I started off wrong, didn't I? All right, so we're going to lift that gaze. You're going to walk, meander, float those feet towards your hands. Forward fold, top of your mat. Right, inhale, lift halfway up, reach through that crown. Take a gorgeous breath. Good, one more. Wiggle out your toes, shift your weight back into your heels, soften those knees, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands melt through heart center. Good, lift them all the way back up. Hook your thumbs, hinge to the left. Press down through the inside edges of your feet. Good, bring it back to center all the way to the other side. Back to center, cactus arms. And release and shrug those shoulders. All right, so we're at the top of our mat. We're getting ready for those standing balance postures. This time the right leg's going to be your standing leg. All right, so as we shift our weight into that right foot, hands can be on the hips or at heart center. Right? We're going to sweep that left foot. Get used to that wobble in your left foot. Lift that left knee. Open the knee nice and wide. Kickstand in at the heel. Bring it into the calf. Bypass the knee, maybe draw it into the inner left thigh. Right? As you press down through the heel, lift a little taller through the crown. Maybe one arm reaches up. Maybe two arms. And there's your tree posture. If you'd like for extended tree, maybe your hand grabs the outside edge of your left foot or the great toe. Right? We're going to extend and reach. Soften to that right leg, that standing leg. One more gorgeous breath here. Right, we're going to release. Bring our hands to our hips, press your left heel back, stamping it to the wall behind you as you tip forward for warrior, modified warrior 3. Beautiful breath. Good. Step that left foot back. Maybe walk your right foot forward, warrior 1. Nice strong knees. Let's open up warrior 2. And lengthen that front right leg. Kick your left hip back. Start to tip forward, reaching. Right hand slides to that right leg. Down towards the ankle, the toe, the block, the floor. We peel it open. Keep pressing through that right great toe. Let's bring that left ear. Hopefully you feel that nice stretch down that left side body. Keep breathing. Good. Now your left hand's going to come down. We're going to frame that right foot. Right? Now you're going to gently draw back that right hip crease. Tip your left toe forward and bunny hop it in. Right? So you come onto that balance beam and you draw your right hip crease back. And hopefully you feel that stretch down the outside of that right leg. Feel free to grab your blocks here. Right? That'll lift. So your heart can reach over that right leg. You can lengthen that right leg as much as possible, pressing through that great toe. And hopefully you feel a nice deep stretch. Beautiful breath. Softness to that right knee. Sweep that right leg back, three-legged dog. Set that right foot down next to your left. Shift your shoulders forward, over your hands, reach through the crowd. Nice, big, strong plank. Good, and let's lower down, chaturanga. Slide our elbows underneath our shoulder heads, lift up through the heart. Keep feeling your shoulder blades rolling in towards the spine, lifting up that heart center just a tad bit more, working those back muscles. Good, and let's release, drop an ear to the floor. And shake out your hips. Just let go of any tension that might be in the lower back. And send your hips back towards your heels. Feel free to go through that sequence again and again as many times as you like. Getting the cardio that you want, building that strength, right? For time for myself, we're going to switch on over to the floor. And we are going to get into some floor postures here. So let's just kick those feet over, drop our hips to the mat, and sweep them around front. Let's lower them down, have access to a cushion, a couch cushion or something, or a bolster, or a block. Draw those knees in, hands on tops of the knees, and just circle the knees one direction and then the other. Good. We're going to grab our bolster here, or your block, whatever you prefer. Right, we're going to press down through those heels and slide that bolster right underneath your lower back. So you have some support here. You can feel this rib cage lift up. If that's too much, feel free to slide that bolster down a little bit so it's just underneath your sacrum, right? And that kind of flattens out these ribs so that they're not flared. All right, let's just rotate those shoulder blades underneath the heart center. Take a beautiful breath here. And exhale out. Walk your heels in a little closer towards your sits bones, right? Wiggle out your toes. Make sure your shoulder blades are engaged in the back of the skull, right? You feel your ribs are knitting together, nice and strong. We're going to press through the heels, squeeze the knees together. Good, beautiful breath. And let's lower on down. And draw one knee at a time in towards the heart center. Make sure your hips are nice and secure on that bolster, cushion, block. Right? And just draw those knees in tight. Good. One more breath. And let's release those feet back to the floor. All right, so we're back again to that supported bridge pose. We're just going to lengthen down that left leg and give that left leg a good shake. Now, if this bothers your lower back at all, release and draw that left knee back in. All right, so then hopefully you can feel a little stretch over that left hip bone. Right, it's just a windshield wiper in and out of that toe. We're going to slide that left leg in and do the same thing on the right. So your left foot anchors, right leg extends, and you windshield wiper it. Good. Another beautiful breath here. Just releasing that tension, letting it go. Good. Slide that right leg in. Right, press down through the heels. Once again, walk those shoulder blades underneath the heart center. Now, what you may want to do here is flip your cushion, your bolster up onto its edge, or maybe grab a second block to lift your hips a little higher so your hips can be supported higher in that bridge posture. So once again, make sure those shoulder blades are anchored in. Press through those heels. Slide that bolster a little higher underneath your hips, right? Or maybe reposition that block so the block is now on its highest edge. We're going to take a beautiful breath. Right? And then we're going to walk one knee in at a time. Or excuse me, before we do that, let's walk the shoulder blades underneath the heart. The reason why I wanted to do this is just to turn the head to the left. And hopefully you can feel a nice big stretch down the right side of your neck. Now let's do the other side. Turn the head to the left. Bring it back to center. Maybe grab that bolster, right? Have a nice firm grip on it, right? Or grab the block. Make sure the block is nice and secure. Draw those knees in. And as those knees come closer to your heart center, just breathe, letting that lower back stretch. Now keep that bolster tucked in. So we want to draw those shoulders up to our ears, right, by scrunching them. We want to keep those shoulders positioned underneath the heart center, right? So it takes a lot of activity in those shoulders, a lot of engagement to keep that active there. And then if you like, extend those legs and lengthen them, right? As those legs lengthen, maybe the toes will reach the floor. You can always place a block above your head, right, to lift the floor to your toes as well. So just breathe, lift those hips, press into your heels. Right, if you like, you can always draw that bolster in towards yourself a little bit more. We're going to keep breathing, keeping that jaw relaxed. Now if you like, lift that left leg, maybe open up, right? Reach. Hands can interlace around that right leg. Maybe use a strap. Bring that left knee in. And let's switch sides. So right leg is going to extend towards the back wall. Right? Find that weight into the hips, into the bolster or the block. Then when you're ready, extend that left leg. Hands maybe rest on the back side of that thigh. Maybe use a strap here so your shoulders can remain relaxed. Right? That's big key, right? Keeping those shoulders relaxed. And then maybe lengthening that left leg towards your heart center. Beautiful breath. Maybe you roll those ankles. Another beautiful breath here. Good. And then that right knee comes in. Right hands grab and secure that block, cushion. Draw the knees in towards the heart center. Extend those legs overhead once again. Flex the heels. Press your heels towards the wall behind you. Try to lift those hips and stamp the heels. Right? Maybe that bolster comes in, that block comes in a little bit more to support that mid-back. And then if you like, lift. Now my shoulders are in position to support my body, right? Because my elbows, the bolster are in the way of my elbows. So I'm not going to be able to do a shoulder stand properly. So I'm not going to do it at all. But if you're just using a block here, you might have the opportunity to bring those elbows in and set up for that shoulder stand. Let's take a beautiful breath. Good. And then we're going to slowly lower back down. Right? So feel free to put that block, that bolster onto that lower edge. Right? Give yourself a moment to adjust. Right? If you like, bring your feet back down to the floor, press down through the heels, slide that bolster out from underneath, and just draw your knees in. Let your shoulders relax. Gently turn your head from left to right, right to left. Now we're going to do that shoulder and neck stretch one more time without a prop, right? So arms down by your sides, right? Walk your heels in. With your arms framing your body, right? You're going to tuck your shoulder blades underneath your heart center so you feel your shoulder blades create a little shelf for your heart to rest on. This in itself is a nice heart center opener. And you can stay right here. You can turn your head left to right and right to left, and maybe you already feel that nice stretch. Right? And you may even want to try it from a position of lengthening the legs and turning the head. You're going to notice it's very subtle, but there's more space to turn that head. Hopefully it releases some of that tension that's in there. So when you draw your knees in, right? You're going to anchor through the heels, wiggle out your toes, so making sure you're going to use those heels, right? Draw your gaze back up towards the ceiling, press through your palms, your elbows, your shoulder blades, and then your heels, and lift the hips. Right? Shift your weight back into your shoulder blades, and then turn the head to the left. Keep squeezing your knees towards one another. Draw the gaze back to center, turn your head to the left. Let's do that again. Come back to center, turn your head to the right. Squeeze the knees, head to the center, turn your head to the left. Good. Slowly lower those hips back down to the floor, and then draw the knees in. Right? Hands on tops of the knees, little circles one direction, and little circles the other direction. Great. Let's bring those knees in. Left hand to the outside, right knee. Right hand anchors out to the floor on that right side. Coming into a spinal twist. Let's reach through that right side, turn that right palm open, and just breathe. If you like, start to tick-tock that right arm. If it bothers your shoulder at all, don't do it. Or maybe even just bend the elbow first. And move through the elbow and see if that lessens the intensity. We don't want to have any pain here. Right? And then if you'd like, extend that arm when you're ready. Good. Bring that right arm back down by your side. Right? Anchor into the elbow. Draw the knees back to center. Right hand comes to the outside left knee. Left arm anchors. And gently draw the knees to the right. Left arm opens up. We breathe into that left side body. And we start to tick-tock that left arm up. Again, if this bothers your shoulder or arm at all, right? Bend the elbow. See if that releases the tension. Or drop the elbow. Good. One more breath. Let's tick-tock that left arm back down by our sides. Draw the knees back to center. Right? And maybe you place the feet on the floor. Open up those knees nice and wide. Hands resting on the outsides of the knees. Feel free to place blocks underneath the knees to lift the floor to the knees for some extra support there. Right? Maybe you adjust those shoulders, coming into your favorite Shavasana. Now feel free to cover up, to come into a traditional Shavasana, lengthening out those legs, maybe windshield wipering those feet in and out. Right? And just rotating those palms open to receive. So we're just going to breathe here, refocusing our mind and our thoughts on the breath. Now, wherever you are in your favorite Shavasana, maybe roll one shoulder blade at a time back underneath the heart center. We're going to engage those leg muscles one more time. So maybe bring the heels together, point your toes up to the ceiling, right? Knit your front bottom ribs together. So those ribs start to knit together, and you feel and engagement. You're pointing your tail down towards your heels, right? Your whole core is engaged. It's like a corset pulling all those muscles in, right? Shoulder blades pull back and down. Hands come into fists. Now, every muscle in your body grips your bones. Really draw it in nice and tight, even your jaw. So with each exhale, you feel your body growing tighter. It's almost as if you can feel your body levitate off the floor because you're so tight. One more breath, just like that. Keep squeezing. You should feel your body shaking now because you're squeezing so hard, utilizing those muscles. Now on the exhale, release. And windshield wiper those feet out. Open your hands really wide. Spread your toes. And then soften into your Shavasana. So you may need to rebend your knees. You may need to reset back up onto a block or two. Hopefully you feel your body relaxing just a little bit more. Feel free to do that a few more times. Right? Walking through that process and engaging those muscles and relaxing. It's a really great tool to use at night if you have a difficulty falling asleep at bedtime. So you may want to think about the air that you're drawing into your body having a color or a light associated with it. And as you breathe, you're watching that light, that color enter your body, move down towards your fingers and your toes. Now as your mind's eye is tracing that light, that color, maybe the color is transforming into other hues. Maybe the light or the color gets stuck in an area of the body. Breathing, keep drawing that light, that color, letting it concentrate into that spot. So maybe it's the tip. And with each breath, the light grows stronger and brighter, concentrating in that area. And as you exhale, think of that light dissolving, that blockage, dissolving the tension. So then that light, that color can freely move down into the deeper recesses of your body, bringing more relaxation, more peace. Friends, maybe wiggle out your fingers and your toes, round out your wrists, round out your ankles. When you're ready, gently draw those knees in. Maybe gently rock side to side. And just feel that lower back become flush with the earth. Maybe circle the knees, feeling the back side of the pelvis be massaged, and switch directions. Right, we're going to gently roll to the side. Just pause there for a moment, giving yourself some time to just get reacquainted, right? Maybe you draw your hands underneath your head for a little extra support. And it's just a big sigh, right? Feeling those ribs kind of relax. And then when you're ready, use your hands and arms to support yourself. Now, I just needed a little bit more opening here in the inner thighs. Feel free to come to the side of your mat so you have the length of the mat on your side. We're going to do a center straddle, right? And as we open up, we're just going to extend those legs here a little bit. I know this is an unusual way to end class, but it's just such a nice stretch, and we didn't really get into those inner thighs today. So we're just going to kind of hinge forward a little bit. So oftentimes when I see people come into a center split here, they will open their legs as far as possible, but then they lose the integrity and they collapse in and their shoulders roll in and their pelvis tucks, right? And you're tucking that tail. Well, you're not getting the benefit of opening up those inner thighs, and your shoulders are compensating for it. Your back is compensating for it. So bring your legs in a little closer so that you can press through those sit bones and lift up through that heart, right? So you can bring those hands back underneath the shoulder heads, maybe loop them back and down. Feel those shoulder blades really squeeze into that spine, right? Help with your posture here. Lift a little taller. Wiggle out your toes, right? Maybe point the toes. Kind of notice how that makes your legs feel in those inner thighs. And then if you're ready, maybe open up those legs again, right? If you start to feel yourself compensating by tucking that tail, shrugging those shoulders, or collapsing the shoulders, close the legs in a little bit more, right? So you're going to find what works for you, but just work on opening up yourself in each posture, right? That's the biggest thing. We're just going to take a beautiful breath here. Inhale, both arms lift up. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Right? If you like, right hand to the right leg. Left hand reaches over. We're stacking our right shoulder on, our left shoulder on top of right. Breathing into those left side ribs. Good. Left hand sweeps across the sky. Let's come back to center and do the other side. Left hand to the left leg. Right arm reaches over. Let's stack that right shoulder this time on top of left. Breathe into that right side body. Good. Right hand reaches back up. Grab that imaginary rope. Pull yourself up. Release those legs. Bring them in. All right. As we sit up tall, we anchor through those crowns. Let's just take a beautiful breath here. Hands to heart center. Friends, I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. May your day be filled with peace and joy. The love of God shine upon you. Namaste.